Hey, this is Julia Morris, and I'm recording for Glenville, Connecticut. It's week 6 of Introduction to Music Production on Coursera, and I'm going to give a thorough explanation of the amplitude envelope. An envelope is a set path that is run every time a key is pressed, and it's defined with 4 controls: attack time, decay time, sustain level, and release time. I won't be defining these because there just isn't time in this presentation, but I'm going to give examples of these envelope configurations. So the first envelope configuration I'm going to demo is a switch or organ envelope, and it's good for emulating strings or bass. I'm going to bring the attack time down to 0. Decay isn't applicable here, so I'm just going to bring that time down to 0 as well. And I'm going to raise the sustain level all the way up to 100%. And I'm going to lower release time down to 0. The next configuration I'm going to demo is the damp percussive configuration. I'm going to leave attack at 0. I'm going to raise decay to approximately 10%. I'm working in the editor panel, but if I had some more time to demo this, I would definitely switch over to controls and put in numbers for these configurations. And I'm going to bring my sustain level down to 0. I'm also going to set my release at approximately the same level as my decay, so roughly 10% here. Let's see how that sounds. And it's really punchy because decay in this configuration here is relatively low. The next configuration I'm going to give an example of is the sustaining blow on a bow configuration, and this configuration is going to give me a strong attack. I'm going to lower decay time back down to 0 in this configuration, and I'm going to raise my sustain levels to roughly 50%. In this configuration, they could be raised as high as 90%. And I'm going to leave my release time at roughly 10%. The last configuration I'm going to give an example of is the cork configuration, and again I'm going to leave attack at roughly 0%. I'm going to set decay time somewhere between 10 and 30%. And I'm going to bring my sustain levels back down to 0. And I'm going to raise my release time to roughly 50%. In this configuration, it could be as high as 100%. And the point of this configuration is when a long note is played, a short blip is heard. And if you're playing on a keyboard very quickly, you'll get a long decay. I've also experimented a great deal with these envelope configurations in my spare time. And this is now an example of the best envelope configuration I found so far for this track. And it's really a mix of all the different envelope configurations I've demoed. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation, and I welcome your feedback.